Oh man, there's got to be an easier way than all this plastic stuff all over the place. It drives me nuts. Oh, hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the shop. Today we're working on my buddy's 2014 Chevy Traverse. I worked on it a little while back. If you didn't catch that video, I basically did brakes, the front brakes and struts on that. I think I only made a video about the struts. And typically, if I go onto YouTube and I search for like today I'm doing engine mounts or motor mounts, as they're commonly called. Anyway, I'll go on to YouTube and type in 2014 Traverse engine mounts or motor mounts. And I watched several videos. And I was under the impression originally that I was going to have to take off all these brackets and drop this subframe thing and do all this extra work that to me seemed like it was unnecessary and excessive. So I couldn't find a video that proved my point, but I have a theory and I want to test this here live with you guys. I guess it won't be live, but it's live for me. I have a theory that you don't have to take any of those brackets out if you do it in the right order. So I'm changing out all of the mounts. This probably wouldn't work if you were just changing out one mount or something, but I'm changing out all of the mounts. And down here under this electrical box, I'll get you pulled in here in a minute where you can get your eyeballs on this, but under this electrical box where all these fuses and stuff are, we're gonna have to take that off to get to what they call the torque strut mount, the torque mount or something like that. Basically, it's the stretchy one that has rubber on it. So my theory is this: if I take this one off first, it will give me enough flex with the motor that I'll be able to manipulate the motor up and down underneath the car and get those bottom three motor mounts, engine mounts disconnected and reinstalled without any of the hassle of taking the cross member down, or they call it the cradle, dropping the cradle. I don't want to do that. So if I can avoid doing that, I'm going to avoid doing it. So I wanted to bring you guys along because this is kind of an experiment in real time for me. So we'll find out. But this is how like a real life line mechanic would do it. They pay a certain time for the book time and the book procedure. And oftentimes, if you follow the book to the letter, you'll end up doing 2 or 3 times more work than is necessary to do the job. Now, am I saying that's always good to take a shortcut like that? No. In some instances, shortcuts can bite you in the butt in the long run, if you don't do it exactly by the procedure. But we're not talking about internal engine parts or transmission parts here. We're talking about mounts, rubber mounts that have some kind of hydraulic fluid inside of them. Really, you can't go wrong. As long as you get the right mount in the right spot and get them indexed the right way, you really can't go wrong. The motor is not going to fall out on you. For one, it's still connected to the drive line. So what I'm about to do, I'm going to get you guys pulled in here and show you this process on the top. Oh, the very first thing you have to do is disconnect the negative cable of the battery so that you don't have any power coming up here, because you don't want to create any sparks in this fuse box. But I'm not going to show you that. Assuming if you have a car like this or are working on a car, you can figure it out. But I will give you this little hint. It's not where they normally are. It's passenger side, back seat floorboard. It's a little weird to get it out. You have to have a Torx T20 to get it out, and whatever. I don't know why they put it there, but they did. It's inside the car under the floorboard. So disconnect the battery cables before you dig into this. But my theory is this: I disconnect this top mount and I leave it loose. I don't replace it instantly. And then I'm going to unbolt all of the rest of the mounts, top and bottom. Then with a jack, I'm going to get down below and watch it and manipulate this engine up and down to where I can change these brackets out, or change out the mounts without removing the bracket. So let's get you pulled in here and we'll see if my theory holds any weight. I don't know if it's going to work or not, guys. I'm a little skeptical, but it seems to me, logically, it seems like it'll work. So we're about to find out. up underneath the car now on that front mount, the front engine mount, and I'm gonna try to get you guys a shot of this. Here it is right here, and as you can see, I've got the engine jacked up enough that I've got complete clearance up above, so I should just be able to pop it out and wiggle it right through here without having to remove that bracket, which is the name of the game. The only thing I'm seeing is my jack might be in the wrong spot there because my board may be sticking out a little bit too much and it may block me right here. So let's try it and see. We'll go up into that hole, I guess, if I can hit it. There we go. And then we'll try to swing it this way, and then we should be able to just wiggle it right down through here. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. There ain't no need to take any cross members loose or anything like that, guys. Don't do stuff you don't have to do, man. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. All right, guys, we're on the last mount, and I saved this one for last because I got a feeling this one's going to be the hardest one. We're fixing to go ahead and jack it up. I've got it placed, the jack is placed underneath the transmission, but I have a piece of, you know, like a 2x6 piece of board on there to keep it from, you know, concentrating all of the energy in one spot. I want to spread it out over the entire transmission pan, and there's a cross member in there, so you have to kind of go in front of that. But anyway, that works out because that's actually where I'm trying to release the pressure from right there. So same as before, you guys pay attention. And oh, off camera, I had to pop a couple of more of those plastic tabs out of the way to get this plastic inner fender well curled back enough so I could see what was going on in there. But, you know, also, just so that it's said, I had to pop the driver's side tire off. We're looking past the brake rotor right here. So let's go ahead and start slowly raising her up. Okay, it seems like it's moving easy. Of course, I had that all propped up there for us and popped right out in 1 second. Yeah, definitely getting there. I don't know if we're going to have enough to get all the way there, though, without taking that bracket off. I sure hope so. A little more. And one other thing, I put both of the nuts on that front engine mount. And maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I should have only put one nut on. That way, if it needed to pop out of there, it could. Oh man, that is very close. Very close. I'm thinking I might have to get a pry bar to get it out the rest of the way because I don't want to damage anything, and it feels like it's starting to get solid. I'll give it just a little bit more. Yeah, I'm not seeing any more movement up here. So that leaves us no choice but to get the big whopper pry bar out and see if we can maybe just slowly push up and over. Yeah, it's gonna go. I just got to get it past that. Okay, there we go. Yeah, if you're a line mechanic or if you work at a, you know, like GM or one of these big stealerships, as everybody calls them, you can thank me by putting a tip down there. You know, there's a thing here on the YouTube where you can tip down there. You could add a little tip, you know, give me a little bit of cut of all that money I'm going to save you, all that time I'm going to save you, because now you'll be able to charge for that same amount of time. And go on to the next job. I might have to get in there behind it with the pry bar. Now that we're out of the hole, see if I can sneak it in right over here. If I just had like a 1/4 inch more, man, that's all we lack. So see there, guys, it ain't just you that crap happens to. Happens to all of us. Not a lot to grab onto, that's the problem. And then if I try to go that way, it goes the opposite way. All right, we're finally making some headway. Now I did have to loosen the bracket. I didn't take it all the way out, but I loosened it just to give me a little bit of play. And it seems as if now I'm able to unthread this thing. I had to move the jack up and down a few times and just generally change positions. But hopefully this thing will thread down far enough that it'll let loose. Well, I don't know. Still got a long ways to go. Getting there. I don't know. Oh, it's so close. See if I can get the pry bar in. God dang, it's so close. So one thing that's different on this side is that the hole is not slotted. On the other side, it was a slotted hole, so it gave me some room to wiggle the thing around. That's why a lot of people are dropping that member there and doing it that way, dropping the cradle down and doing it that way. And hopefully I don't have to do that, because after all this, I'd rather not have to do that. Okay, I'm still moving. I'm getting close. What I was just thinking though was, if I can fit it in there, I may have to get my drill and kind of waller that a little bit, just so it gives me some room to get in there, because this threading it out bullshit, it sucks. It should just slide right out of there when I pull it over at the right angle, you know. And I get it that I'm kind of binding it up, trying to get it out this way, but they're the ones that designed a damn thing like this. Oh, I missed the old 350 Chevrolet. All those other ones were easy, but this one's a pain in the ass. And probably wouldn't be so bad. Maybe it would have been worth it for me to remove that fender, that inner fender well, but I just didn't want to. Okay, I can see at the top, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can look up there and see there's nothing sticking up. So it should be about to drop any second. It's just I'm running out of steam here. Come on, baby. Come on out of there. Maybe now the pry bar will do something. It is just like, I mean, it's just maybe one thread holding it in there. Okay. See, every time I do anything, that other damn pry bar falls out and it's pissing me off. I need you to stay right here. Stay there. Okay. Yes. Come on, baby. Come out of there. It's just in such a bind right there. I'm gonna have to keep spinning it. It is working though. Here we go. Here we go. Come on, baby. Come on. Yeah. Finally. Okay. So it's doable. It ain't easy, but it is doable. Okay. All right. I think actually when I pried on it, it moved forward a little bit, and that actually helped me more than anything. it got me a little bit off the offset of that hold where I could unscrew it. So hopefully the new one will go back in quite a bit easier than that. I'm going to take a 5-minute break and look at that hole. I might, like I said, just kind of open that hole up a little bit just because I don't want to tear the threads up on the way back in. So we'll come back here in just a minute. All right, guys, after much work, I was able to get up in there with a drill, and you can see the metal shavings there. It's aluminum, so it drills real easy, and I was able to kind of waller it out just a little bit. I don't want to make it a big gaping hole that the bolt won't fit into. I just want it to be big enough where it'll go in there without fighting me all night long. So let's see if we got there. Yes, this one comes with a rubber cap. I was just making sure it had the cap thing on there. And we are ready to go. It's got the index pin on the inside, so that'll go toward the motor. Let's see if we can get this in. Now, I do still have that bracket loose. In fact, as I'm thinking about it, I probably ought to tighten that bracket up right now because it's going to be hard to do once that's in. At least this one right here. Okay, and yeah, I'm just going to run them all in because I don't want any problems. Come on. Yep, shouldn't have tightened that one up all the way yet. Come on. Yeah, I'd rather mess with this right now than once the mount's in because it might be hard to get to. Okay. I don't think I'm too high with the motor. Just a little. There we go. So yeah, if you do loosen this bracket off like I did, make sure you tighten it back up before you put the mount in because it might be hard to do once the mount's in. Everything else is pretty difficult to get to. So. And I didn't pull that top one out. I just loosened it. This one right here is the main one though, because once the mount's in, you can't really get to this one. You can't get a straight shot on it anyway. Okay, good enough. There we go. All right. Okay. All right, so we're at least at step one. Ugh. Still, as much of a pain as it is, if you don't have to drop that thing down on the front, my way is superior. I'm convinced. Even though it is, again, it's kind of a pain. I'm not saying it's easy. Come on now. So this thing is obviously rubber, so it's got some give to it, which is how I'm able to do that. Problem is, this flap thing is right in my way. If it wasn't in my way, I could probably just ease it on in there. Okay, so before, when I moved this thing, it moved the opposite direction that I wanted it to go. Let's see if I can have the same sort of luck again without hurting my finger. Yeah, it's really close right there. It's getting there. Okay, and that pin needs to be that direction. Come on, baby. It's like when I pull it, when I pry it this way, it tends to go that way. Get in there. What's the deal? Come on. Well, that's it if I can get my pry bar out. Oh. Okay. So now we lock that in there. Hopefully you guys are seeing that. It's a huge success. Okay, so we'll have to throw some nuts and bolts on there, stuff like that. But that is basically it, guys. I'm not going to bore you with tightening everything up. All we need to do now is let everything down. And that is how you change all 4 engine mounts. Of course, we'll have to go back and do that one at the top. We'll just do it in the reverse order. I think you guys can figure that out. I just wanted to prove the point here that you can do it. It is possible without removing the cradle and without removing brackets on the other side. I did take this bracket loose, but I didn't remove it. So guys, if you have a similar project and you know of a tip like this that can help you make it happen faster and get through the job faster, share it with us down in the comments. If you have one of these cars, let me know. Have you had to do engine mounts? Did you find a way, like I did, to do it a little easier than removing the cradle? So I don't know. Was it easier? Maybe it would have been faster. I don't know. But I think my way is better because I don't like taking stuff off that I don't have to. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Hit me up in the comments. Hit the thumbs up if you don't mind. That helps to get the videos out to other people. Subscribe if you want to see more. There's always an adventure going on around here of some kind. Oh, man. I'm ready to go inside and kick my feet up. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you next time.